years, and we take the closed Rikers, then I'll be seeing y'all 7, 8 more times here. And until we put the actions behind our words, we'll be here again. And at 19 years old, I got incarcerated again, did 5 years. I've been home 2.5 years, and I'm a community organizer for the Closed Rikers campaign.
We have Merlin coming up from Boca, New York. Hi everyone, how are we doing? I am a community organizer of Boca, New York. It is so important that we are here today, supporting this family. I can relate to Pedro's mother, Jessica, because I myself was formerly incarcerated on Rikers Island and separated from my children. I know the pain. No matter, no mother should have to go through. Even though it was Pedro who was unjustly locked up. The whole family is doing time. The whole family is suffering. There are thousands of people just like Pedro and his family going through this right now. People on Rikers Island, their families who are trying to get them out. Pedro and Jessica are not alone. Pedro and Jessica are not alone. The bail-setting practices of the Bronx District Attorney and the jails on Rikers Island are depriving people of their constitutional rights to liberty and due process. It must end. Now. We need comprehensive criminal justice reform. We need true speedy trial reform. We have to end the system of cash bail that traps poor people in jail waiting for a trial that may never come. We need accountability in the district attorney's office, and we need to close Rikers Island now.
We're going to bring up our brother Roy Waterman from Drive Change.
Good morning. Morning. I'm happy to see many of you out here. Unfortunately, we're out here for a reason that continues to plague our system. As mentioned, I'm Roy Waterman. I'm a co-founder of an organization called Drive Change. And at the end of the day, we have to say, when is enough enough? When do we stop shedding tears for our young brothers and young sisters of color that continue to be intercepted by the system that is not broken? I will repeat that again. This system is not broken. It is doing exactly everything that was intended to do, and that's to oppress a specific demographic of people, and it's doing that very well. So we cannot reform something that's broken. We need to break it first and reimagine what it looks like to be incarcerated in America. So you should be outraged like I'm outraged. You should not be smiling. This is not like a cute thing, a hot thing. This is going on far too many times. We are showing up, rallying and protesting and voicing our hurt, our pain, our frustration for things that continue to plague our adults. I did almost 13 years myself, so I know what it's like to be intercepted by the system. I also know what it's like to be inside behind those walls. As my young mentee Bilal mentioned, how hard it is to get out of there. It's like the Roach Motel. You go in, and then it's hard as hell to get out. But at the end of the day, as I like to speak to the young men and women around this country that are incarcerated, when I go into Rikers Island and the other jails and prisons, I say to them, you are not alone. You have a community You have a bunch of organizations and people that are invested in fighting for you, your freedom, your rights. And what I'm saying to you is, ask yourself this question. Do you need to wait for it to be your son or your daughter for you to be out here? Like this mother that's behind me. Do you need it to be your son or your daughter, your cousin, your nephew, your grandson, your granddaughter, for you to be out here rallying, fighting, protesting? We want justice for Pedro. We want justice now. We don't want it later. We want it now. Yes, it was mentioned earlier that, yes, it's good to see the media out here that is spreading real news, not false news. I'll say that again, real news, not false news. So we are out here to let our voices be heard, but not just that. We're here also to change policy that's constantly impacting brown and bodies of color that continue to absorb us. And I'll also say this in closing. Pay attention to the language you're using when you're talking about people who are formerly incarcerated, as well as the men and women that are incarcerated right now. They are not convicts, criminals. We are not ex-cons or ex-inmates. We are not ex-anything. We are returning citizens. We are formerly incarcerated. Why? Because it speaks to the situation we've been through and not define who we are as people.
So I also want to recognize the fact that we are on the cusp of the anniversary of Michael Brown, right? And so we also want to say his name. And so the next person that I'm bringing up is Victoria Davis, who is the sister of Dalron Smalls, who was killed by police last year. So she's going to share some with us. You're very welcome.
Hello. Hello. My name is Victoria Davis. I'm the sister of Dalron Small, who was killed in Brooklyn, Atlantic, and Bradford last year on July 4th by NYPD officer Wayne Isaac. I came today to support and in solidarity for Pedro's family because my brother, Dalron, was a victim of mass incarceration and the broken window system. We need justice for Pedro. He has done great things under the worst circumstances. And I have no doubt, and I'm pretty sure no one else has any doubt, that he will do incredible things while he's home. We need justice for Pedro. We are not asking for justice, we are demanding justice. We're demanding justice for Pedro and the end of mass incarceration. Thank you. We always have to remember those that have been taken at the hands of police. So that was very brave of you. Thank you for being here and supporting me. I now want to bring up Juan Cartagena from the Latino Justice.
Buenos dias. Good morning. I'm actually I'll just speak loud enough, thank you. You know, the case of Pedro Hernandez and the saga that his family is going through shows some of the worst aspects of criminal policies and laws here in New York State and New York City. Taking children at the age of 15 and 16 and putting them in cages obviously starts this saga. Setting a bail that was so high, but at the end of the day, if the issue was if he's not a threat to the safety of anybody else, then why set a bail that high? Finally, being able to rally for his immediate release while he's in pretrial detention raises the issue of how much suffering the people of Rikers go through. And all of these issues, locking away our children, creating money bail systems that we cannot pay, and exposing our children and our adults to the dangers of Rikers Island, the worst aspects of New York City are coming together. But all of you that are here, all of you that many that are in solidarity with the family are also showing the hope of New York City. The hope to try to change these policies. To hope in solidarity with the family of Pedro Hernandez. And the thankfulness that we have that a handful of people in the press have been able to give us highlight some of the issues, like Sean King. So we thank those efforts, and we thank all of you to be here. Latino Justice está contigo hasta el final. Muchísimas gracias.
Now we're going to bring up Jason X. Rodriguez from the Nation of Islam.
I'd like to greet everyone in the greeting words of peace and paradise. We say it in the Arabic language. Assalamu alaikum. I'd like to say to the elders in Espanol, bendición. I was formerly incarcerated. I was arrested at the age of 16. I was sentenced and convicted as an adult to the maximum term of 25 years. I was also in return told to take the plea or I would get life. I ended up serving 17 years and doing 8 years on parole. But what I want to stress is that the most powerful thing is a made-up mind. We have to make up our minds of what we want to do. And us as parents, what we need to do, I lost both of my parents while incarcerated. I'm an only child. But that goes to show you that if you have a made-up mind, God destroyed the impossible when he created the universe. So that means that everyone here is able to do what they want to do once we have a made-up mind. That's the most powerful thing. Once you make up your mind, you know what you want to do and what you're ready to do. So that's what I'm saying. Us as parents, we need to focus on the qualities of our children. What am I saying? If he likes to fight, put him into boxing. If he likes to run, find somewhere where they can run. We need to learn how to manage our children's time by using their qualities and gifts and creating them and turning them into livelihoods. If he knows how to sing, then put him somewhere. You know, this is what we got to do. And if we don't have no money, we got to do GoFundMe fund, just like they did and who shot 9 people in the church. This is what we have to do. Well, they took him to McDonald's, cuffed him, and brought him in alive. And here it is, we're innocent. Yesterday was the commemoration of Mike Brown. So now Pedro is the cornerstone for the many people that have been illegally convicted, and also there's a bigger investigation. Pedro is the opener to show a track record of how many people have been through the same thing. So we got to use it. So it's not only justice for Pedro, it's justice for all of us. It's justice for Christopher Cotto. It's justice for everybody. And with that, thank you, and thank everyone for coming out. Peace.
Thank you. So it's been truly an honor to work with this family. I think all of us feel the same way, right? Everybody here, I think we are really grateful the fact that we have been able to meet a family like the family. And so without further ado, I'm going to bring up Esper Perez and Pedro's brother, Luis Hernandez. But I also want to let you all know, don't leave after they speak, because we're going to get a message from Pedro delivered to all of you.
First of all, good morning to everybody. Very good at this. I'm a little nervous. I brought a little something.
Good time.
Sometimes we feel like we can make it. Like we ran out of fuel and the next gas station is like 5 miles away. But we need to get up and make it our destination any way possible. We need to concentrate in the real problem here, which is our Hispanic and Black youth being held at Rikers Island, waiting for trial, usually for low-level offenses, unable to afford bail, and stuck in hell that can last several years, because that's what I call it, hell. Being mentally and physically abused while still presumed innocent. It's harsh and unjust and unfair. We are told in court, the court of law states that we are innocent until proven guilty. Therefore, is our youth being forced to pay this crime in such horrible environments while we still being innocent? As the mother of Pedro Hernandez and witnessed this firsthand, I want to let the world know that yes, I am more than grateful for having him out and back home. However, stay woke and know that there are kids still in there, going through the circumstances that my son had to endure. We must start giving them helping hands any way possible until this is no longer happening. Together we stand here today, and I hope this will make a difference. With senators, bail reforms being pushed, me as a mother, with only one man next to me, I tried to fight a whole year for my son's bail to be reduced. I was able to post bail, but not to that extreme. But I guess my money wasn't good enough, because it took for the RFK to come in, and just by them stepping in, the bail was reduced to $100,000 after me fighting a whole year for it to be reduced. Wow. So then again, I asked everybody to just remember we still got many kids like Pedro Hernandez in there. And in the power, that's where the unity is in the power. If we all stay together, we could make this happen. With Senator Gianaris pushing bail reforms, everybody standing together, we can make this happen. I want to give a special thanks for somebody that I believe in my heart made this possible, which is Investigator Manuel Gomez. With lack of sleep, managing to do investigations, what should be done by the justice system, he managed to bring justice to Pedro Hernandez. Let's stop arresting and investigating more. And with that said, I thank everybody from the bottom of my heart for being here. I'm a little nervous once again, but let's stay together.
First and foremost, my brother is not here right now, but I would like to thank every person who heard his story out, and the dedicated people who gave selflessly of their time, their talent, and their treasures. Together with the nation full of giving people who supported our family without a doubt, all just in the name of justice. We are thankful for our struggle, because without it, we wouldn't have stumbled across our strength. But it must stop here. No other person should experience the sickening environment of Rikers Island, all while just being a detainee. Yes, there's options for people to choose to be positive and have a grateful attitude which will determine how they live their life. But when they're abused in every aspect, when they're denied the basic necessities to live, and when they're constantly treated like scum, there's no option. The option they are left with is to rebel and act out how every human being should. Rising up as a community, letting the world know that we refuse to allow this any further is what we must continue to do. We need to be heard. We must voice our opinions and all our emotions fearlessly, and we must allow the world to hear the truth. That our justice system needs complete reformation. With that, I here today stand as a 15-year-old, reminding the world that the power is within the youth. We are the future. We are change, and we are capable.
That was extremely powerful. I always say, not only are young people the future, but they're also the present, and they're our greatest gift, and so we have to nurture them. So I'm going to bring up my brother, my son, who's a hip-hop artist, who's from the Bronx, who's also formerly incarcerated and has dedicated the past 4 years to working with us at Justice League to bring a voice to the most marginalized community. So
that's how we own it! Amen. How y'all doing today? Let's make some noise for Pedro's family, please. That was a 15-year-old young man that spoke like an adult world professor. That's what happens when we invest in our youth. Say not again. Not again. I said say not again.
Not again.
Let's raise a fist for Mike Brass. Because 3 years ago today in Ferguson, Missouri, shot 18-year-old Mike down. So it is in his spirit of Mike Brown that we gather here right now. His death gave birth to the resistance. The blatant disgust and injustice that we witnessed brought the Black Lives Matter movement into existence. So it's with that commitment that we are persistent in our fight. And this instant is no difference. We started for the color's life, but not again. Because we've seen what it did to Big Brother.
So now we understand the need for all of us indeed to speak louder, because silence is acceptance. So how are we going to accept this? How Rikers Island does every child that gets arrested. They house and condition them with violence runs wild and is perfected. Now the child's perspective of right or wrong is disconnected, and he got erected. So how is this correction? Not again. It is time that we send a message that every child will be protected. No justice, no peace. And that is why now we have connected to demand justice for Pedro. That young man sat confined for 13 months for a crime he didn't commit, and they know he was innocent. Now the police set him up, and they play ignorant, so we're gonna stay vigilant until the charges are dismissed. And the officers who broke the law have cuffs around their wrists. But this time gonna be different. This time they gonna listen. This time we gonna send a boy to school instead of sending him off to prison. This time the guilty cops won't walk off with a grin. Nope, not this time. Not again. Raise your fist. Peace and love.
That was powerful. So we're going to bring back Luis to read some words of his brother.
Hi everyone, I'm back. I just want to read a statement that's written from my brother. He's not able to come here for safety and legal reasons, but he wanted to make sure everyone knows that he's thankful for everyone who's shown him and our family tremendous support and encouragement over the past year, especially in the recent weeks. It is because each and every one of you that I am no longer on Rikers Island. For now, thanks to you all, I'm able to focus on being a son, a brother, and a cousin again, and to begin my studies and preparation for college. But it is still not yet a time for celebration, because there are so many other young people who remain in cages, simply because they cannot afford to purchase their freedom. Hope that your support for me will translate to your support for each and every one of them, and that we can all look forward to the day when we may celebrate their freedom and the end of the unjust cash bail system that has stolen so many lives away. Thank you once again.
Welcome, buddy.
So we're going to have a closing prayer by our sister Nikki from the Indigenous Nation, and so we want to bring the family up so that she could center all of you. We need all of you to pray with us. Right. This family has gone through so much in the past year. And as many of you know who have people that are incarcerated or formerly incarcerated, it's not easy. And we also want to thank all the people who are here who have been working every single day to ensure that Pedro's voice is lifted. So I want to thank all of you for your courageous act to step forward to fight against the injustice that is happening to our communities and in our communities. And so, with no further ado, Nikki.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
I come with prayers and good blessings for Pedro Hernandez and his family. I pray that the Creator give them all and all of us strength during these trying times. Within the Native American community, we believe in protecting our women and our children and our youth, as in many other communities. These young men and women are our future warriors. Pedro Hernandez is just that, our future. It is our duty to stand by this brave young man and offer up our prayers to the Creator to give him a victory so that he may go on and travel the path that the Creator has laid for him. Since the beginning, the government has failed to honor its promises to protect and empower our people. They have continued to fail us miserably. Now we are called to duty. As we stand here today, we must continue to stand in solidarity and bravely fight these injustices. And I encourage all of us to be vigilant, to write to our congressmen, our senators, our legislators, demanding for reform, letting our voices be heard. For power is within our voice and our actions. Aho.
Aho.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We wanted to make sure that we sent I'm trying to balance both. But we just wanted to make sure that we had sent a clear message to the DA, Darcel Clark. Yes. to remove the charges that are on Pedro and to also show the solidarity of community that has come together for the family. So I want to thank all of you. Thank you for being with us. And this is not the last time you're going to hear from us. We're going to continue to fight justice for Pedro. We're going to continue to fight for these young people. We also want to make sure that people know about Christopher Cotto. No kids in cages anymore. And so we got to close down Rikers. We got to create positive alternatives, and we need to fight against this war on our children. Thank you.